Let me ask you something that I've been thinking about specifically for years. Have you ever noticed how many businesses or how few businesses actually ever become successful financially? I mean, so many entrepreneurs that work late, they stay late, they work hard, they grind, they hustle, they do all the things to actually never make the amount of revenue that they're looking for. In fact, so many of them never even break six figures, and far fewer ever cross the seven-figure mark, and just a small, tiny fraction of business owners actually ever get to the eight figures. So with that kind of news, it's kind of depressing to say, hey, I'm gonna work and spend all this time to grow a business, and the stats and the statistics and everything seems to be piled up against me. But let me help you through that. See, most people think that actually it's harder to make more money in business, but I wanna change that for you, because actually it's easier to make more money in business. It's actually harder to stay small. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but the truth is, as your thinking grows and expands, so does your revenue. The challenge isn't in the number, the challenge is in your skill set, raising your skill sets to bring more value to the marketplace. Today, I want to talk about those business skills that can produce extraordinary results, not just in sales or in profits, but in the freedom and the impact it will create for you and your business. And I want to be clear about something up front. See, this transformation rarely comes through more information alone. It generally comes through implementation and application. And if you take notes and you implement what I'm about to share, your future could change dramatically. Number one, value-based thinking. One of the first shifts I would help every entrepreneur make is to understand how value is delivered in the marketplace. There's really only two ways to create revenue in the marketplace. Number one, you sell your time, or you sell some product or value that's independent of your time. And by the way, when you've attached the value to your time, you've already capped the amount of money your business can make. Your time is finite. Your energy is finite, your capacity is finite. So you attaching value to your time has already limited the potential you have for creating more income. And it doesn't mean that doing that is bad, it just means for you to scale that leverage will be required. The moment you figure out how to separate revenue from your time, everything changes. This is why value-based thinking matters. If you can turn that value into a product, a framework, a resource, a tool, a software, something like that, you now have been able to take time out of the equation, and you can serve more people without it being more demanding on your time. Remember, when value is multiplied instead of repeated, scale becomes repeatable and duplicatable. See, the purpose is to take this value and turn it into assets, because remember, money follows assets. This is why value thinking is so powerful as a business owner. But the key is to creating valuable products that the marketplace and your customers actually want and need. Too many entrepreneurs make this mistake. They build something they want versus what the marketplace needs, and then they try to wait for the market to catch up. Impact-driven entrepreneurs, they do it differently. They watch the market, they show up, they listen, and they act. Value is created when you solve real problems, when you take people away from real pain, and you move them to a purposeful future they desire. In my experience, people value things for three reasons. The first is something they lacked in the past, meaning something's missing. They want something that is now missing in their life, and you can provide that to help them have a more desirable future. Second, something they value right now. See, if you can put that in their life and they believe it improves their life today, then they'll prioritize it right now. Probably the most important is something they value will move them towards a future they desire. Even if it's unclear, it will drive action today if they believe that you can get them to the future they desire. And when your product or service aligns with one or more of those values, then demand will follow naturally. But here's three non-negotiables to scale any offer. Every offer that creates impact and income must meet these three criteria. Number one, it has to be desirable. Not desirable to you, but desirable to them. If the market doesn't care, it doesn't matter how passionate you are about the thing. Number two, it must be measurable. People want to know where they are before and the journey you're going to take them on, so that they know where they are after they do business with you. Clear transformation creates confidence, and when people have confidence, they have clarity. When they have clarity, they move quickly. Number three, it must be simple to explain. Remember, clarity is your permission slip to go fast. If they are clear on what your offer provides, they'll move quickly and decisions will follow. But confusion will kill momentum. Skill number two, revenue generation. Let's talk revenue. By the way, revenue is not something to feel awkward about discussing. Revenue is the scoreboard of the value you've delivered to the marketplace. Selling by definition isn't manipulation. Selling is a service when done with integrity to the marketplace. If you believe in what you offer, which you should, you're not taking from people, you're helping them move forward. One of the biggest shifts I ever made was this. The purpose of the sale is not the money. The purpose of the sale is to build a long-term, impactful relationship with my customer. Because when that happens, they don't just buy once. They buy repeatedly and they refer you to other people. This is why great businesses focus on the following: acquiring the right people and serving them exceptionally well, and delivering consistently on the promises you make to your customers. Promotion may build your attention, but fulfillment will build your reputation. And reputation compounds faster than any promotion or advertising ever could. Marketing versus selling. Let's talk about this because they are not the same. Marketing is often about who you are and what you do and how you push that out to the marketplace. But value-based and integrity-based selling is you getting in front of the prospect and clearly listening and paying attention to the needs that they have, and then offering with clarity value on how you can get them from where they are to where they want to go. When people hesitate, it's rarely because the solution isn't good. It's usually because the outcome isn't clear. Remember, you don't sell process, you don't sell complexity, you sell the result. People are not buying what you do, they're buying the result you provide them. Skill number 3, asset allocation and financial maturity. Finally, let's talk about financial stewardship in a business. Pricing, payment structures, systems, they're not just operational details, they're leadership decisions. When you underprice, you don't actually serve people. And when you overcomplicate your pricing, it creates friction. And the lack of structure becomes the risk in your business. Here's what mature businesses do. They price according to value, they make it easy to do business with them, and protect both the client and the company. Revenue without wisdom leads to chaos. But here's what I want you to remember. Businesses don't grow merely because people want more money. They grow because business leaders become more intentional, more disciplined, and more aligned with the service and value they provide. When you develop the right skills, your thinking matures. Income follows impact. Make good on what you've been entrusted with and the stewardship you have. Serve well and live intentionally.